record. Okay, this is our BIB club going over the BIB workbook, the BI Build It Big book, and the More Build It Big book. We are on session number, I think it's 5 if I'm not, or 4. Anyway, it's clarify your why and success habits. And we will go till 7 o'clock Central Time, which will be 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So first of all, I want to tell everyone to remember that we're going to use heart-centered listening so that everyone gets a chance to share their thoughts. What, if anyone wants to share, was your wow moment after going through the clarify your why? And you can unmute yourself and share with us.
Okay, I'm going to say it this way. I didn't have a wow moment as to why I joined.
Okay.
I'm going to share why. My whole reasoning behind me joining Avon in the first place is because I'm on a disability income and I have nothing to do since I can't work, and joining Avon gives my brain something to do. That's the sole reason of me joining Avon in the first place.
Okay. Anyone else want to share their wow moment after going through the workbook? You can unmute yourself.
I'll share mine.
Okay.
The reason I joined Avon was to get extra money. I needed extra money to pay off my son's student loan. And once I got that done, I stayed in because I wanted to be able to have a residual income when I retired. Okay. So that's why I'm here.
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you, Mary.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to share their wow moment?
Well, my reason why is because I've been using Avon since I was 14 years old. And I'm over 60 now, so that tells you I've been using it most of my life, almost my entire life. And it's done an amazing job for all my skin care and all that. And the girl that I was buying from stopped selling, and because she went online and she didn't want to mess with it, and she's not computer savvy, so she barely gets by with her job because she needs to work the register. And so she stopped selling it. And I looked for 2 years and I said, heck with it, I'm just going to sell it. And I jumped on board. And there's a lot of different things now. And I kind of like it. I like it, the whole thing being online. And I see the potential more now than the other 2 times when I sold Avon. I can see a huge difference. And this will help me have fun income later on when hubby retires in 4 years. So this is going to be our travel money, and I mean to do it everywhere. The whole world, we can go anywhere we want. So this is why I'm in Avon. This is the big thing. So I'm working hard to get this business built big enough by the time he retires, this thing is just kicking. And then, and then we'll be traveling and meeting new people and getting more people on board.
Okay, great, great. Okay. Any other wows?
My why for joining Avon is we needed extra income because my husband has some medical problems. And but then I found that it kind of helps me talk to people more and kind of get to know people. And I don't know, I'm just kind of a shy person. And so that's my reason.
Yeah, that's great. That sounds very similar to me. I mean, before I started Avon, I was a shy person too, but you know, it just, when you love what you're talking about, you love the products, it's easy to talk about it. It's easy to share it. So that's great. Okay, let's go on. Some of my questions. Hold on, I'm getting beeped here. I want to make sure it's not somebody that's Okay. Why?
Oh, Don,
Yes.
sorry, I can share now if you want.
Okay, yes, we'd love to have you share.
Yay. So I joined, well, back in the day when you were still here, I joined because I love makeup and I was obsessed with the Shock mascara. I know you heard this like a million times because we had our Saturday morning meetings, but I was always talking about the brush. And I was always like, oh my gosh, I wish Avon would just do something with these brushes. And that was the one mascara that I was obsessed with because it literally, the brush was magic. So that's like my thing was I just wanted to explore new makeup and just do something extra for myself. You know, back in the day when I worked at Radio Shack, but you know, they're no longer around. I just wanted something extra for kind of not feeling guilty about buying something because you're like, oh, well, this is something I earned myself. So that was kind of why. And then I stayed because every Saturday morning when we had our meetings, I would just feel like, oh my God, I can redo this again. And I would just get remotivated and remotivated. And then seeing everyone and being able to share everything that we shared in the room and just meeting new people, seeing the same faces, it was good. It really helped remotivate me to just keep going. I mean, like I said, I haven't been doing this as much as the rest of you ladies have, but I mean, I'm there, right? 11 years, right? That's
You're here, Melina. That's all that counts right now is
Yeah.
you're sticking with it and you're here.
Right.
So
One more thing I want to tell you guys, my Instagram was hacked after the last time I was talking to you guys. So everything is gone. So I have a new one now. If you guys want to go follow me, we can bounce off of each other. It's just strictly Avon. And I only posted, I think, like 6 posts just to start it. But all my stuff is gone and I couldn't get back in there because they changed the password on me. So yeah.
so what is your new link then?
Let me see if I can pull it up. I probably can message it in here. I
Yeah,
can
you
try that.
can put it in the chat. Everybody can
Yeah, I'll
see it from
try.
the chat. Yep. Okay, so I've got some questions
I'm gonna
for
do that
you.
real-
Why are you in this business? And this is just thought-provoking questions. Do you have your why clearly defined? Well, from what everybody said, you seem to. And who has created a list of ways life will be different when you achieve the direct selling success that you desire? Anybody want to share on how life will be different, the picture you have in your head?
I can share. I'll share first. I'm quick to jump in. I know it. Well, when all's said and done, when I reach where I plan on reaching, my life will be different because my Avon will be so successful that I would be able to tell disability where they could take their little bitty checks because I'll be making more than on disability. I'll be having a better running vehicle. My home will all have all the repairs finished that needs to be done to it. So yeah, life will be different for me. My dogs already find that out because their food's gotten to be the more expensive, healthier food. So
Okay,
that's how my life's gonna be different.
all right. Anyone else?
Well, ours would be traveling. But more than that, I think I'm really looking forward to showing other people the opportunities so that they can have the same things that I plan to have. You know, that's probably my biggest thing right there, because once it takes off and it's really doing what I want it to do, and then when he retires, we really can travel. I'm going to say, now, don't you wish you jumped on board with me when I started this? Because you could have been going on vacation too. But you know what? It isn't too late. Let's get you going. And so my thing is actions speak louder than words. You can talk in my ear all day long, but if I don't see you doing it, I'm not going to believe it. So, but that's not with everything in my life, luckily, but with Avon, it is. Most of the people in my life now, they see where I'm at. They see things are changing because things are changing for me. It's taken me 3 years to get where I'm at now, and I don't think I'm doing too bad. but in 4 more years, it's going to be totally different. It's going to be more than double because I already know what I'm doing. I have the information now. So I expect that I'll be able to present the opportunity to people that'll help them build something that they want. It's like an empire.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else want to share on that point? How you see your life different? Okay, well, let's go on because we are covering 2 tonight. So first in Build It Big, page 6. So if you've got your Build It Big book there, page 6. Okay, this kind of goes on what we are just talking about. It says in like the second paragraph, what is your compelling vision? What represents the achievement of your why? Once you have it, write out your vision in detail and find a picture to make it real to your brain. Every day, spend time with it, read it, look at the picture, carry it around with you in your mind and feel it in your body. When you do this every day, it will create momentum for you and motivate you to keep going no matter what comes your way. Okay? So now below that, it says actions for creating your vision today. And let's make sure, yeah. So who wants to read those 2 bullets?
I'll go ahead and read them since nobody's volunteering so fast.
Hey.
Okay, if you haven't done it already, sit down and formally define why you are building this business and be specific. Find or create a picture that invokes the feelings of your why every time you see it. Post this picture someplace where you can easily see it daily and refer to it often.
Okay, so that's kind of going over what we just did. So let's see. The next section that we're going to read on is about in the more Build It Big, and that define your core beliefs. I believe that's page 4, if I'm following correctly. Okay, let me see, where are you? Yes. So in that, I just pulled out of there on page 5 about peeling the onion. Who wants to explain what peeling the onion means?
I actually enjoyed that part of this reading here because what it does, it peels the layers of yourself back so you can see what needs to be fixed and fix that, you know, before you put all the layers of you back together.
Mm-hmm.
Was my biggest takeoff in that whole article on that.
Yeah, it is peeling like an onion. So getting down deep and thinking about those core beliefs and examining your beliefs in direct selling and the positive impact and all of that, that this all leads to, all these whys that we were just talking about. So it's important to think about peeling off that onion. Okay, let me just move along to my notes next. And that is on page 6 in getting to the core. And that's uncovering your core beliefs and challenging them is an evolutionary process that takes time. So you're going to make a commitment by writing it down, finding your resources, find a role model to help you mentally solidify your core beliefs and your attitude of service. Okay? So I thought that was quite interesting in that part. Then we go into page, I believe, 231 in the More Build It Big. And I think I have it marked here with a post-it note. Right, 231 is honor their dream, accepting that less may be more. And on the next page of 232, I wrote down some 5 basic categories that are listed there. And it talks about, my phone is going into answering questions for me. The wholesale user. Okay. Who would explain what the wholesale user is?
I will.
Okay.
It's a person who joins the company to use products for themselves
Right.
and not necessarily sell it, just get the discount from the products when they order them.
Yeah, exactly. So
Which
the
is
next,
exactly what I was gonna do until I realized that's not gonna get me where I wanna go. So I did it, that's why I started. Truly, that's why I started, because I wanted the products. I didn't want to sell it. I wanted the products. I couldn't find an Avon representative. It's like, all right, I'm the one. But then after the word got out that I joined Avon again, it's like, hey, would you order me this? Would you order me that? And then all of a sudden I saw the potential. It's like, you know what? We're going to do something with this. And here we are.
so another door was kind of open to you, wasn't it?
Yeah, because at the time I was still driving the school bus and I wasn't about ready to make 2 things happen in my life. And then since then I haven't been on the school bus anymore, but this turned out to be a better deal for me. The school bus couldn't make me pretty. It just made my arms strong trying to see that wheel.
Okay, the second one is the socially orientated. Who wants to explain what the socially orientated is?
Actually, that would be kind of neat because I like being around other people. Is basically what it is, because I like talking with other people, getting to know them, making new friends. So socially oriented would be just that. I think that would be better for extroverts versus introverts.
Yeah, right.
Because with me, I'm an extrovert. I go walk up to a total stranger and create a conversation. So, but that's just me. Everybody's different.
Yep, that's right. There's 5, basic categories here. The short termer.
Sure.
I had one of those. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to hop in, sell a bunch of stuff, win a trip, and bail out. And that's what she did. She didn't win a trip because it was a little bit more involved than she thought. And then her sister messed up the order and didn't pay her and got her stuff. But, you got to warn them. But that's what this person is. She wants to come, she wants to earn some money, and she wants to run away. And that's what she does. It'd be nice to get her back in, but it's probably not worth it to me because she's flighty like that.
Right. Or maybe somebody that comes on during the holidays, only for the holidays, and then leaves after the holidays, but does want to come back during the holidays again. So that would be another short termer. Okay. How about the consistent part-time earner?
Let's see here.
That was me. That was me. I just wanted to grow my sales. I wasn't really all that interested in starting a team. I didn't want the responsibility of being the pep rally and getting to, hey, you go there, girl. I didn't want to do that. But again, like I said before, I could see the potential here. And a lot of the people I know, they want to be able to see a result and then jump on board and say, okay, show me what you did, which I would be happy to do that. I will give you every little secret I got. But that was me. I just wanted to earn the income, which I'm doing. But then I realized that if I had team members doing the same thing, I could be earning money off of whatever they're doing too. So that builds it even more. That's where I'm going right there.
This is me.
Okay.
This is me. I have to admit it. Because I'm not that much for the leadership. Been there, done that.
Okay.
Though I may have one coming. It's a friend of mine.
Okay. Well, we will definitely take her when she's ready, right?
We talked today and she asked me how much I made this weekend, and I told her, and she's like, I used to sell Avon. I said, well, it's free to sign up right now. And she said, really? She said, well, I think I might have a balance. And so I told her to go on to my webpage and hit sign up. And I said, if you have a balance, they'll let you know.
Yeah. It'll come out.
We'll see what happens.
How long ago was she with Avon?
I don't know. I didn't ask her.
Okay.
This is the first time I heard that she had ever sold Avon.
Okay.
So I don't know, but
how long do they hold that, Dawn? Do you know?
The balance? Well, it depends on if it goes to collections or not. And
So
it's
got to be
a certain
big,
amount,
otherwise
so yeah. And
Yeah.
if it goes to collections, then you've got to contact collections, and it takes a little bit of time to get it settled at that point. But it can be settled. I mean, nobody gets credit anymore, so that's not an issue.
right.
So yeah, it would be, if that's satisfied, then they'll let her come back. But it'll come out, like you said, if she does.
Right. So I haven't heard back from her, so I don't know if she's done it yet or not, but I know she was out. She drives Uber too. So in fact, she's the one that got me started driving Uber.
Okay,
So,
well, check with her, and tomorrow or something, and see what she found out, if she went there and that type of thing, which kind of goes right into our number 5, which is the career builder. And what that person does is persistent enough to overcome any disappointments or roadblocks, and also helps develop skills she needs to lead a growing organization. So that is the 5 basic categories then. So now I've got on my notes to read page 233, and that is the honor and cherish today. So it says, number 1, within 48 hours after you enroll your next team member, conduct an interview to determine their motivation for joining your business. Devise a strategy for mentoring that fits with her motivational skills or pattern. Honor her motivation and commitment, and let her know that she's a valuable member of your team in whatever category she fits into. Okay, so everybody is different in what they want out of that. So now, let's see. I think we need to go to the book, and we read got into all the Build It Big book things with those 3 sections. Now it talks about your why a little bit. It asks you to dig deep, like what we talked about. why, what are your emotional reasons for entering this business? And, you know, they can be anywhere from I want my husband to be proud of me. I no longer want my children to live in poverty. I want to show my parents that I can make something of myself and be successful. Or maybe you just want to prove it to yourself. You know, my why at the time I started is totally different than what it is now. My why was, you know, we had little kids and I wanted to be someone other than mommy, right? So that was why because then I could hand the baby to Darwin when he walked in the door from work, and I could go out and be an individual, to be, you know, like a business person. And so that was then. Of course, now you probably all know that it's now changed, you know, to, I mean, we're looking at residual income and my retirement and you know, getting a house by the lake and still being able to run my business and help my team, but enjoying my life a little bit in retirement age. So so it can be anything for anybody. So that's the key thing. Now there was some pages 30 through 32 to fill out, to examine yourself, kind of thing. So was there anything in any of those questions that anyone wants to bring out or share on how they examined themselves to fill in these answers?
Well, okay, I'm going to jump in and say, like you, Dawn, my why has actually changed.
Okay.
My original why was to give my brain something to do. You know, I wasn't even really worried about making money off of it. It was just something for me to do. But now, as I started getting a team, you know, the first time around, where I ended up losing my whole team. But now with the team that I have, my why has definitely changed, because now it's all about my team, helping them succeed, you know, giving them kudos when they did good, and that sort of stuff, where they've got something big happening in their thing. And now my why is actually, I do want to make the money now. So that is back in that's in there now. You know, plus, you know, my why is when people ask me why I joined Avon, my biggest why, and I say this all the time, once you start doing what you love, you'll never work another day in your life.
Yeah. That's right.
True.
That's my
Very
why.
true.
I love selling Avon. This ain't a job. I'm not working. This is what I love doing. So I'm never working. And then now with everything else going on, I'm getting more creative and things of that nature. So yeah, my why has changed.
Okay. Okay, good. So that, you know, it can. I mean, you know, depending on how long you're with Avon, it can change. And your why may adjust to a variety of life circumstances, the achievement of substantial goal, or even a significant shift in priorities. So select a couple dates within the coming year to revisit your why. And those of us with team members, it is a good thing to check back with your team, especially if you find them kind of spinning their wheels and going, you know, not sure what direction they're going. They have kind of probably forgot their why. And they maybe need to reevaluate their why and see, you know, maybe it's changed. Maybe that isn't the same thing they're working for. So, you know, ensure that it's still the same, or if some enhancements or some order needs to change on that. So is there anything else people want to share about the why before we go on to success habits?
I want to share another one, actually.
Okay.
Okay. One of them says, who would I like to see me as a success and why? Well, first my answer was other representatives, you know, the newer ones, because they can see that you can start out with as a new representative and you get successful in Avon, okay? My biggest thing is my family, though, because my family is old school in a sense that you don't make money when you do indirect sales.
Okay.
So my why is I actually want to improve and get more successful and say, guess what, guys? Avon, my earnings from Avon paid for this. It paid for this. But, you know, you don't make money with direct sales, you know. That's my why. I want to be able to rub that in.
Yeah.
I want to rub that in so hard that they'll be scratching their noses for a whole week after that.
I'm with you on that, Roger. In fact, the last time back in the 90s, early 90s, when I sold Avon, that was the second time I sold it. But my sister jumped on board with me, and the both of us went gangbusters trying to make sales. And neither one of us, she had a huge network of friends, and she was going nowhere. I had a real small network of friends, and I was getting a few sales. But when I jumped on board this time, she's like, why are you doing this again? This is your third time. And I just told her, third time's a charm, right? That's what I've always heard. So I said, this time I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to get it because I want to be using Avon products, which was my main reason why I wanted to start selling it again, because I didn't have an Avon lady. And then she now lives in a retirement community in Florida. And I keep trying to tell her, do you know what kind of potential you have there? I said, take some books. Let me send you some books and get me some sales. Because when she sees how much these ladies want the stuff, she's going to be signing on the dotted line. But I keep telling her, if you wait too long, you're going to have to pay to get in on Avon again. And she says, well, how much did you pay? It's like, well, I paid the $100, but I got the huge kit and it was great. And I got books and all the rest of that. I said, but I said, I could give you some books. You go around to all these little old biddies that you now hang out with. She's younger than me, but they're retired. They live down there. So I said, all those old biddies, they're going to go, oh my gosh, you're so Avon. Oh, I want some. It's my favorite. So I told her, I said, the potential. I mean, I live in a neighborhood that has little kids, and I'm doing great with selling Bug Guard. But that's about it. Most of these ladies, they don't think about it. So I go outside the box. I go somewhere else. But she's sitting right in the heart of something big, and she can't even see it. So I want to build it to the point where she sees what's happening and sees the potential for it. And I want to rub her face, and it's so bad. Just like,
I know that's sad. Isn't that messed up? We're under the same thing, because you know what, too, also at the same time, Flo, this is actually my third time in Avon, so I understand the third time is charm. And this time, my whole look at Avon has changed when I accidentally got into leadership, and I do mean accidentally, because Dawn, when I first started joining, Dawn was trying to get me into leadership, and I told her, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, not yet. Then I accidentally got into leadership, and now I'm turning Avon into a career. Because, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm not making a lot of commission yet up in team sales, but it's getting up there now. You know, and I'm happy to see that my team is growing. So, you know, it is what it is. You know,
It is what you can make it.
rub their
plus, I
noses in it,
still want
Roger.
to rub in my older brother's face, mainly. My older brother, he's like, you know, I'm so sick of Avon. Mom sold Avon. You're going to get into it. You ain't going to make any money. That's the person that's going to get the rub in first.
How did your mom do?
Huh?
How did your mom do? How did she go? How did she get everything going?
Well, she lied to us, telling us she's not making a lot of money when she was getting her team commission checks. She had a huge team. Dawn, I don't know how big your team is, but my mom's team before she passed was over 400 reps.
Whoa.
Multiple generation. I think she had like 5 generations of reps. She was like a bronze executive leader or something like that, her title, or bronze unit leader or something of that nature. But she would get her check each 2 weeks, and when I would go get her mail for her, I'm like, "Ooh, Mom, you got some money." "Oh, that's just a $20 bonus for signing up a new recruit." Translation, that was her leadership check sitting there. You know, so I know she was making good money, because towards the end, before she passed, she bought and paid off the vehicle
Nice.
from her leadership earnings. So
And now that you know how leadership works, you can see exactly what kind of potential that really was.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now that I see how it's working in a whole bit, you know, what my team's doing, you know, I never thought I would be proud of anybody else's success other than my own. I'm being honest. But now I am so proud that I remember my team that because they're doing so good. So that's changed me too. That's actually changed, you know, selling Avon, you don't realize how much you change until you look at things like this that we're doing at BIB.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then you
But
realize, wow, look at that change in me.
Does anybody follow Lisa Wilbur?
Yes, I
Yes.
do. Yeah, I've done a
She
lot.
tells you every 2 weeks how much her commission check is.
Yeah, she
I
does
know.
in her unusual
I-
way.
Yes, yeah. But I have always told myself I wanted to be like her. But the only problem is I have to get into leadership. I want them big checks like she gets, though they are smaller since LG took over.
But she did not make that overnight.
I
You
know,
know,
and I
she's-
know, and she has like, I think her team is like 2,000 and some odd people.
Right, and she's
has
done a lot of marketing where she's made sure everybody that's in her town, even though there's other reps in her town, think that she is the only representative for them to call. I mean, she's even gone political. She's gone
I know, I
political
followed her.
market, signage, and gotten in trouble for it, all kinds of things.
I know.
Yeah,
But you know what? If she didn't go out and try those things, she wouldn't know. And before they come and say, hey, you gotta take that down, she probably has a whole handful more customers. So
right.
go
So
do
it
it.
didn't matter. It didn't matter. She got what she wanted out of it, and then
Yep.
she took it down. Yeah.
Yep. And if she has an issue with it, she could take it to the newspaper. Oh, they're going to jump on this Avon lady. What? We have an Avon lady here? Yay. Who is it? And then the
Yeah.
name is there. And yeah, I mean, think about that. And I would do that myself. I'd put a big sign out on the main road over here, which, you know, isn't all that big of a road. So, yeah, we're in a small town here. I mean, Portage is like a, I'm trying to think. I know a lot of you guys are all in some smaller or in bigger areas, especially you, Dawn, and you too. Geneseo is pretty good sized place.
Actually, Geneseo's not as big as it looks on a map, okay? There's a lot of cornfields and soybean fields in that thing, so.
Yeah, but you're
But
close to something bigger though, aren't you?
The cities.
He's in the Quad
call
Cities,
this part, we call them the cities, you know, which is the Quad Cities. I'm like 17 miles outside of the Quad Cities. So, but while you're mentioning big sign in your yard, I can't put a sign in my yard. So I have a sign in my window. But then recently I changed my logo. So now whenever I go out in public, there's a big sign on me. There's the front. And you think that's back? This thing covers my entire back almost.
Wow.
No, and that's what you need to do to show that you're out there. Because if you don't bring it up, somebody else will see it and will bring it up. So that's a good thing. That's good branding, Roger. So
That's my new shirt.
let's move on to success habits next. Okay, and get my notes all here. Okay, so the first one was page 250 of the Build It Big. Let me see what I had to say in there. Okay, 250. So that title says, say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. So the key point there was concentrating on merely the good often prevents the great from showing up. Okay, so now there's 6 points here, six steps that I kind of pulled out some key things in there. And it starts out with kind of a positive expectation. Wait, oh, that's the wrong place I'm reading from. 264. Let me just go back here. 264. Right. How to ask for what you want.
Are we already on stopping in the 250 on page 250?
Right. 250. Let me see if I pointed out anything here. Yeah, I didn't point out anything there, but definitely read it because there's some selecting great opportunities in there.
Yeah, there's some
Okay.
good stuff.
Right. And then going back to 263 is on the ask, which I thought that title was, you know, I could have wrote that, right? The world's most powerful and neglected secret to success and happiness. Why are people afraid to ask? Are they afraid of several things like looking needy, looking foolish, or looking stupid? But mostly they're afraid of experiencing rejection. They are afraid of hearing the word no. But really, there's nothing you've got to lose. You didn't have them in your team before you asked them. So by them saying no, just move on to the next one, right? So then it goes into the questions that are about to go into. How to ask for what you want on page 264. So, and that thing I pointed out on bullet number 1 is ask with positive expectations. And bullet number 2, I pulled out, assume you'll get a yes. Don't go into it assuming they're going to say no, because they can read that even though we're not saying it. Then the third bullet, ask who can give you the answer you want. Who would you have to speak to? Who's authorized to make that decision? A lot of times when I talk to people, just cold calling, and they'll say, well, I need to check with my husband. Well, what is the husband going to know? She isn't going to know what to tell her husband, except for the little bit she got out of my conversation. Ask to speak to the husband. Let's do a 3-way call. And that way, if he's got questions you don't have the answer for, I can help you out with that. Right? So be clear and specific. So that you can't be vague. You can't say, you know, soon or whenever you get around to it, that type of thing. And number 5 was be persistent and not give up. Keep asking, because even the same person might say yes on a different day. And this can be for customers as well as team members, right? This is people. I mean, don't think only that we're using the categorization of recruiting, but when you have new data to present and you've proven your commitment to her and your circumstances have changed, when you've learned how to close better, when she trusts your move, when the economy is better, and so on, right? We've heard all that. So what do we say? Just say next, right? If it doesn't work out the first time. So some will, some won't. So what? Someone else is waiting. So that's some key points I put in there. Let's see if I got any more of my notes. Page 266, the next page over. Today's actions to build your asking power. So who'd like to read that? Page 266 at the very top.
I'll read it.
Okay.
Think about the last time you asked someone for something important and didn't get it. Did you ask if they were Did you ask as if you were expecting to get it? Thank you. Did you assume you would? Did you ask the right person, a person who can get it to you? Did you make your request crystal clear? Were you graciously persistent?
All right, photo bomb.
Identify 3 ways to improve your asking power and ask again. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, honey.
So we always need to improve the way we're doing it, right? So now let's see. I think we got one more section in the more 272. There was a lot of reading this time with 4 different sections. 272. And that's just about plug your energy drains.
We're not going to do 276
276, 267?
or
Oh,
267?
267, yep.
Okay.
My mind is not totally.
It's all right. Mine's on vacation.
Okay, so 267, yeah, that's my first bullet here. So this one, is anybody Star Wars fans here? There was a lot of Star Wars in this one. So 267, as if you must think and speak and ask and act as if your goals have already been accomplished.
Which book are you in? Build It Big or More Build It Big?
More Build It Big. 267 and More Build It
I'm
Big.
trying to figure out where you're at in the Build It Big. They're not matching up right.
Yeah, More Build It Big, page 267.
This is funny because they mention Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
My sister calls me Floby-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, no.
Floby.
So that first paragraph there is for you.
Yep,
It
I guess
really
so.
Yeah,
You pay attention then, right?
you have to go back and read that paragraph.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and another thing is have faith that everything you want is already yours. Okay? I don't want to hear I'm trying. You do or you do not. Trying is another word for maybe or I'm hoping.
Trying is setting you up for failure because you're going to keep trying and it's not going to work the way you want.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're going to give up on it. And what does that gain?
Right. So
You know what?
that's
That's a Yoda term. Don't try, do. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Don't try to do something. Do it. Do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So you
Just
need
like
to
my
believe.
son last night.
I'm sorry, right, Roger?
Just like my son last night, he was talking about something. He's taking online classes. He goes, well, I can't do this. I said, John, you already set yourself up for failure the moment you said can't.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's looking at me like, okay, where's this come from? This ain't my father. So I said, what you should do.
Fathers have a little training and coaching, right?
Yeah, you don't, if you use the word can't, you're setting yourself up for failure already.
Yeah, that's right. So you don't say you're trying. You don't say I can't do this. Don't say this is hard because it's all negative. You need to believe you will succeed. Speak only of success and prosperity. Believe as if your wishes have become reality.
Yeah.
So that's some good stuff there. So now let's see, have I covered everything? More Build It Big, page 272.
I like that. Put on your Jedi robe. My Jedi robe is in the form of a t-shirt.
Your Jedi robe is an Avon t-shirt.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That new Avon t-shirt. That's my Jedi robe.
There you go.
At 273?
272, 273, yeah.
Okay.
And this one talks about plug your energy drain. I thought that was kind of interesting. Plug your energy drain. So on page 274, I highlighted something that I want someone to read, starting with this clearing your drains today and tomorrow.
I'll go.
Okay.
If you got some undone tasks that you know have become drains on your energy, try the following steps to catch up. Number one, list all the energy drains you have in your life. You may want to put them into categories such as business, personal, family, and home. Prioritize the categories and energy drains within each category. Estimate the amount of time it will take to complete each energy drain. Allow a little more time when you first estimate than what you first estimate to ensure success in eliminating it. Did you want me to read all of it or just?
Go ahead.
Okay. Number two, determine the amount of time you can spend on clearing your energy drains each week, then calendar a time or times for clearing the drains. And number three, enjoy the relief and sense of accomplishment that you feel by creating the means to clear your energy drains. For fun, make a list of some of the things you might want to do with your newfound energy. Perhaps you'd like to take some inspiring walks in nature, do some motivational reading, or spend more time with your family.
Okay. So in other words, what I'm going to say here is kind of tying back to what I've just been through in my coaching skills. If you coach people to let them come up with the answers, then when you get done with your conversation with your team member, or maybe it's someone personal, you're not drained out because they're doing all the answering. You're just asking them the questions to come up with their answers.
Yep.
Okay?
Don, you've been getting on me about that one lately, trust me. So that's what I read from that. It's almost like I heard you reading it, even though I was reading it, because you've been getting on me about that.
It's so interesting. I mean, I contemplated taking this coaching class with Nikki, you know, and then starting this BIB at the same time, but it's like so related. It's so related in leading you guys and coming with this BIB club. You know, it's like you get off of things when you have conversations, and if you're training them and spending your whole time coming up with the answers, you're totally wore out. It's you know, it's a tiring experience. But if you're doing the listening and asking them questions, and they're trying to dig in deep to find the answers, to find out why they've got a problem with something, it's totally different. So then you can have time for some self-improvement. You can keep, you know, enlarge your comfort zone by for an exciting future, looking beyond your obstacles and focus on goals and visions, solutions for challenges, problems as opportunities, and possibilities in every situation. So it's all about, you know, doing the draining, getting all of that plugged, the drains plugged, so it doesn't use up all your energy. Okay?
It's funny that whole thing about not giving the answers, let them seek them themselves. That's been the last 2-3 weeks of my life with these kids, because I got a first grader and a second grader here, and I've got a middle school kid too. But you know, they come to me and they'll say, "What's this word?" And they're both learning how to use. Man, English is a hard language, you know. So they're coming and they're asking. Their teachers are sending them stuff, and it's like, okay, sound it out. You know what these letters sound like? Sound it out. Yeah, I could say, you know, that word is can. but you know, they need to learn it themselves. It's like, what do you think it is? What does the C make? Of course, the C is confusing. It can make a K or an S sound. So
Yeah.
it depends on where it is in the word.
Right.
So yeah, so I got to play that game. You know, if it's in the middle of the word, it could sound like an S. They said, you know, your words, say them one way and then say them the other. If they don't make sense, that's probably wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to find cheating ways. But, you know, I want to help them, but I have to let them help themselves first.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And that's the same thing with the team member. You
Right.
got to let them help themselves first by coming up with where they'll find that answer
Mhm.
or how they need to dig deeper to give you what, when, where, how, all of those, you know, answers that a coach uses. And I mean, and I'm not going to go into my whole coaching thing, but you know, you got to be cautious, because I had to bring this to Nikki, because you know, everybody that's calling me now, because, you know, from the team, they all like to call Dawn and get the answer. So I've been saying to them, you know, different things like, well, where do you think you could find that? And you know, one of my newer reps was like, well, if you're not going to help me, then I'm not going to call you anymore. It's like, okay.
Yay.
Okay, yeah. We'll end this text right now. Pick up the phone, say, okay, listen, you know, this is helping you, even though you don't see it that way.
Yeah.
You know, this is helping you, but she didn't know that that's what I was doing. She took it totally different. So,
I was that person too. In fact, when my last order came in, my campaign 20 order came in, and there was a lot more products than I remember ordering. I didn't get an invoice. There was no invoice. There was
right.
there was a ticket, you know, a ship ticket, so that they knew what to send, but there was no invoice. So I had no idea that it was my $100 box or my $25 box that came, and that's what all these. I'm thinking, woohoo, jackpot! But no, it wasn't. I'd already paid for that. But I went on to Avon, and I was going to call you and say, where can I find the invoices? Because I looked and I looked and I looked. And then it's like, I was so frustrated, I just walked away from it. Of course, you know, I have 3 kids over here yelling and yakking and being kids, but I walked away from it for about an hour, came, sat back down, and I found it. And I printed it. I started printing their own invoices first, thinking, all right, that's the only way I'm going to find out what they have and what I need. And then sure enough, I found it and I printed it out. It's like, woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, mystery solved.
And you know what? And it's a feeling of accomplishment when they can get the answer instead of us giving it to them, because, you know, you give them the answer, then the next time something comes up, they're going to come back for an answer. And if they've got a team that they're building, the team member is going to come to you for the answer too, because they don't know it. And so
Yep.
that just doubled your stress.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
So,
saying yep because I'm dealing with that kind of sort of in my own way right now.
exactly.
Yep.
So,
Not going into detail, but I'm kind of sort of dealing with that right now. And so I'm having to say, well, you know, what resources can you get that answer from? Because, you know, if they're like, well, I don't know, the first words out of my mouth is always Avon U. Everything you need to know is in Avon U.
yes. Or, you know, the beauty buzz and that type. I mean, they'll direct you right to the answer, but, you know, they've got to learn to search for it. And it goes right into what our subject is, creating successful habits, because
Yeah.
these are all habits when they come to us to get the answer. And so we all have habits. I'm on page 33 now in the workbook.
In the workbook. Okay.
In the workbook.
You need to kind of let us know ahead of time when you do that, Dawn, because I'm trying to figure out where you're looking.
So we all have habits. They are the behavioral patterns you don't give a second thought to. They are routines, predictable reactions, a version of autopilot that allows you to focus your thoughts and energy on other activities. Okay? I'm not going to read that whole section, but it's all about you know, one thing I do want to read that's on the top of the page from, because I love Les Brown, is make every day count by setting specific goals to succeed, then making every effort to exceed your own expectations. So,
And a lot of people don't realize that if you want to create something into more of a habit, it takes approximately 2 weeks of you making yourself do something before all of a sudden you start doing it and don't realize that you're actually doing it. It's like, wait, I've had to make myself do this. It turns into such habit. And a lot of times you do it without even thinking about doing it anymore.
right. Takes 21 days. That's what the book says, is 21 days.
That's not true about everything though. Because when I was driving the bus, they ask you to be not a certain weight, but they need you to be able to do physical things, especially because I had the special needs bus and I was dealing with wheelchairs and walkers and people who couldn't hear or people who couldn't think for themselves. So I had to be a certain weight. The doctor told me that if you would give yourself 6 weeks, you can lose 30 pounds in 6 weeks. I said, really? How do I do that? Because I mean, my whole life, right? So he said, you just don't eat any meat that includes any fish or any chicken or any of that stuff. Don't eat any meats. Don't eat any dairy. Dairy includes your milks, your cheeses, your creams, all of those things.
Okay, I'm screwed on that already.
The what?
I'm screwed on that already. I'm a dairy fanatic. I love my dairy.
That's me. And then don't eat any eggs. He goes, only 6 weeks. That's it. You can lose 30 pounds in 6 weeks if you do this. I said, guaranteed.
So what do you do? Live on air and water then? Don't eat this, don't eat that. What do you do?
That's
Live on air and water?
Just those 3 things. No meat, no dairy, no eggs. I mean, of course, that includes everything else. But, and then, well, you know what? You think, okay, well, what about bread? Well, bread has milk in it or eggs, so you can't do that.
With it. Right.
Crackers, you can't do crackers. Well, you know what? I went on the diet for 6 weeks. I lost 27 pounds. 6 weeks. I slowly put it all back into my diet. I gained every bit of it back. Every bit of it, and then some.
And it wasn't a habit of yours. It was just that's what you were giving up for that amount of time.
Yeah, but I've tried to stay away from Doritos, but they call me. They're calling me now. I've managed to get that out of my life, but every now and then I go in for the kill and a bag disappears. Just like that. A family size
You
bag.
need earplugs, honey. You need earplugs so so you don't hear those Doritos calling you.
That's that little voice inside my head doing that. That red bag, it gets me every time.
I just had some.
Oh my goodness, all about Doritos. What are we gonna do?
The best way to get rid of that flow is quit buying the Doritos, then they can't call you.
Okay, there's another quote down here from Les Brown on the bottom of page 34. Who wants to read that one?
I'll go for it.
Okay.
You are an unrepeatable miracle. All of us are born unique, but most of us die copies. There's something that you are supposed to do that is unique to you and no one else can do it. Regardless of what is happening in your life or how you feel right now, know that you are a miracle. You have miracle working power to make your own dreams come true. The world is waiting on you to live a bigger life and express your greatness that has been placed in you. Do it now. Nice.
I like that. I like Les Brown though. I've heard him speak at a conference and oh my gosh.
Good, huh?
It's pretty amazing. He's pretty amazing.
Wow.
So did you gonna live, Roger?
Sorry, my drink went down wrong. I took a drink and went down the wrong way.
Oh,
Okay.
sometimes that's hard to get that that little bit out of the wrong pipe. Boy, I tell you.
It does.
So then page 35, we go into how you can turn your negative habits into replace them with productive habits. So anybody write down any negative habits that they want replaced into productive habits?
You mean like other than Doritos?
Yeah, well, we talked about how you can get rid of that, right?
My biggest thing
Definitely.
is procrastination.
Procrastination. Okay.
Yes,
It's things you don't really want to do,
I
right?
Yeah.
have, and it's like the older I get, I used to not be like that, but the older I get, the more prominent it is in my life. And I procrastinate now ridiculously. And I keep telling myself I need a pill to stop me from doing it or something because I hate it. I mean, I have all these things I want to do, but I sit here and I procrastinate.
Okay.
And
So do
don't do
you
'em.
make a list? Do you make a list of the things you want to do that you're putting off?
Sometimes I do.
they're
Sometimes
up
I
here.
don't. Yeah.
So can
So-
you want to share with us one thing that you procrastinate about doing?
Getting some signage for my Avon.
Okay.
I want to what's the word I'm looking for? I want to God, what is the word I'm trying to think of? I want to
Talk around it. It'll come to you.
I want to publicize it more.
Publicize it more. Okay.
Like with the shirt.
Okay.
Branding.
Back before I used to have a sign on the back of my car with my phone number and my stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I keep procrastinating. I want to do that, but I keep procrastinating doing it. I think, I don't know. I don't live in the best of neighborhoods.
You don't want the creepy people having your phone number, because that's where I'm at with it. Yeah.
Right. And but when I had it on my car before, I lived in this neighborhood and it didn't bother me.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't know. The neighborhood's gotten worse.
Mhm.
I have a drug house across the street.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's because of that, the reason why I procrastinate, but and I've even kind of wanted, now that I got a new car, I kind of wanted to look into getting an Avon wrap on it to see how much that would cost me.
That's what Lisa Wilbur did.
I know, and I love it. I love it. And so, and I've seen some others too that have it. And
I had it when we were in Michigan with the car that I had there.
You
It
did?
wasn't completely wrapped, but I had it all the way down the side, on both sides, and the back, and the windows were done.
Okay.
Signage. So
Well, and I had thought maybe not the whole car wrap, maybe just the door.
yeah,
like
do
the
a
passenger
magnet
door
or something like that.
that.
Yeah.
Because that would be a lot cheaper than doing the whole car.
Yeah. You're talking thousands when you do the whole
Right,
car.
right. And so these are things that I need to get, and even things like out to swap. My tent that I have, I've been wanting to paint Avon on my tent. And I don't do it. It's all these things that I want to do to promote my business. That's what I was trying to say.
Promote your
And I just procrastinate at it.
Mhm.
And it makes me mad for real.
I'm with you, Mary. That's my motto. Why do today what I can put off till tomorrow?
I know, and it just, I don't know. I wish I wasn't like that, but like I said, the older I get, the more I get like it.
Why do you think you do that, Mary?
I don't know.
You
I have
don't,
no idea, because believe me, I've sat and thought about it. Why? Because it used to be everything had to be done yesterday. And now it's like, I just sit and procrastinate. Is it something with old age? I don't know. I don't know.
You don't look
really
that
don't-
old, Mary.
Huh?
You don't look that old.
I'm 62.
Okay, so you're a year older than me.
Yeah. See, and I just
I'm
took
62
early
too.
retirement.
You're 62 also?
I'm 62. Yeah.
Wow. We're not gonna ask Roger. He's falling asleep on us.
Well, you know what? You know what? I don't care if you ask. I'm younger than you, so
Oh, you are. But what?
I'm only 54, so
So yeah, so it's, I don't know. I just don't, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think that you're using that kind of as a crutch, that it's just your age?
I might be, but I used to
You know,
not, I mean, I used to not be this way. So that's why I'm assuming it's getting older, or maybe it's because I don't have the energy that I used to have.
That's probably it right there, because that's how I am too. My procrastination issue is that I got a whole ton of books sitting right here and they're ready to go, and they've got coupons on it, giving them a discount if they go through me, and they're all ready to go. Still.
Right. I even went and bought thank you
how
notes
you throw that
this
word
weekend
still
so that
in
I
there.
could send some people that had placed orders online, because I've been trying to build my online orders up. And I've finally got them started coming in, and I went and bought some thank you notes, and I was gonna send them out to them. Have I done it yet? No.
Well, in the stuff that we were reading, it talked about, the thank you notes were sitting there and we're not getting done. And that was something that went with what we're talking about, that this is something that is not a habit that you would
Right.
do normally.
Right.
It's got to be something you make a habit.
Right.
Right?
And that's very true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's very true.
Here's the thing with your envelopes, with your thank you notes. My biggest procrastination with sending those out isn't that I don't have them, because I do. I have thank you notes here. My big thing is I don't want to go to the post office and get some postage stamps for it, so I don't go. But what I
Right.
can do, the post office is on the way. It's on the way to the ice cream parlor. So if I go and get ice cream with Doritos on them, then I could go and stop and get some stamps on my way so that I could get some ice cream with Doritos.
Maybe that's what it is, though. Huh?
Another way is if you go to Walmart, you can buy your stamps at Walmart, so you don't have to go to that post office.
Well,
Right. Are you
here in Kansas City, we buy postage at Quick Trip, and I hit Quick Trip all the time, so that's really not an excuse.
Yeah.
But I would still have to go to the
You
post
could be
office
getting
to
your
mail them.
stamps when you go there.
Right, exactly.
You can't put your envelopes in the mailbox at the corner and put your little flag up?
No, not out in this neighborhood.
It'll disappear, won't it?
That I would not do that.
Wow.
I
You
would
don't
not
have a
do that.
mailbox?
Huh?
You don't have a drop box anywhere?
Well, I don't live that far from the main post office. It's about 2 miles.
You have a
But I-
drive-through where you can drive
Yeah,
through there and
yeah,
drop it?
Yeah.
So on your way to get ice cream, drop it.
So the distance is not one of the issues.
No, it's not. It's just, I guess, being lazy. I mean,
No, it's
I
just
don't know.
what you've got to do is you've got to make a list of these things, right? And then you've got to put them in a time slot. And the ones that you're procrastinating, put first. Because those are things you don't want to do at the end of the day.
Right.
Okay? So
Right.
make that list even make a list of who you're going to call to check on. And you can do that online with Vistaprint on that sign.
Well, I even went out and bought a planner. Okay. Because
Okay.
I saw this planner at Sam's Club, and it was cheap. It was really cheap. But I'm like, I'm getting that because I need that so that I can write down every day what I need to do. And then maybe that will help me. Okay, the planner's still sitting on the table.
That's okay. I feel like I wasted money buying my planner this year.
I
Everything was
use my phone. I put everything in my calendar in my phone. Don't you have?
Yeah, but I'm more of a look at it person.
Paper person?
Right.
Paper and pen? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me what you're
So
going to
I don't know. Maybe
I
I don't know. I'm just going to have to make it a point to get up and start doing stuff because really, to tell you the truth, I've even quit getting up in the morning going driving. I done got to the point where I enjoy staying at home. Yes, I used to do that. Yes.
The important things have something on them, you know what I mean?
Okay, well, you've got to determine, Mary, what's going to take for you to do that, and take small pieces, bite-sized pieces of what you want to do that you've been putting off.
Yeah. I'm going to work on that.
And then you make it a habit that you do that every day.
Right.
Is it an elephant for you?
What?
Doing these things that are so hard for you to do?
Sometimes.
Years and years ago, I used to do, I did home shows with lingerie. It was a very respectable lingerie company, so don't get any perverted ideas, which is fun too. But it was the nice stuff. And I mean, they're no longer in business, but what my upline would talk about all the time is that anybody can eat an elephant. All you have to do is take one bite at a time, just one little bite, and eventually it'll be gone. So one little bite. And ice cream doesn't hurt either.
Right.
I have some in the refrigerator.
Every lesson that we've been on has been celebration in the back. And the celebration can be the ice cream.
Right, yes. Maybe I'll go write those thank you notes tonight when I get off of here.
You tell us about it. You write one or two. Just one.
I only have 3. I have 3 that I want to send.
Okay, then.
So, yeah, because one lady, she didn't put her email address in, and she's the lady, she placed a $140 order. So I was gonna send her some samples because I ordered I have so many samples of the ISA because I got samples with that one batch of stuff that I bought from the convention, and then I ordered more on top of it. So I have like hundreds. Everybody can have a sample here. So I wanted to send her.
Make sure every sample has your label on it with your name.
Okay.
Well, if you've got that many samples, Mary, maybe you should hire somebody to just take all your samples up with them into an airplane and dump them out the door over your city.
Oh my God. But seriously, I mean, hey, I have tons of them. When I opened that box up and saw all those samples, I was like, oh my God.
Where did you get those all from?
Okay, so I bought the new ISA products that
ISA not.
It's ISA, okay, ISA products batch that they had, and that came with samples.
Right.
Yep.
And then I ordered a bunch.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, that's a good product to have a bunch of samples of.
Right. The lady that bought all that $140 worth of stuff, it was a new product.
Oh, right.
That she's starting to use again.
Okay.
And so I thought I would send her some samples of the new stuff so that she can try it out too.
Okay, so Mary, look on page 36. Did you fill out any of these questions yet?
No, I didn't.
Okay, So there's the question in the middle of the page. List 3 ways you can make this new habit fun and enjoyable.
Ice cream.
I knew you were gonna say that. What about Doritos? Don't get your Doritos, Flo.
Peanut butter cups. Roger, we had that talk.
I think
I've had 3 today.
Reese's ice cream, it sounds like a plan right there.
Oh man, I had some peanut butter cups earlier today too, Mary. So
Mary, do this. Fill in these questions because that's going to help you.
Okay.
You know,
I will do that.
It's going to help you. And then there's an exercise on page 37. One simple way to track your progress is to create a spreadsheet in a notebook. You're a paper and writing person.
Mhm.
So just write it down in a notebook, or your planner even would be even better.
Right.
And across the top, label each column with the name of the new habit you want to incorporate into your life.
Okay.
Label each row down on the left with the dates for the next 3 weeks. Post this chart so you can see it. And your refrigerator, bathroom mirror on your desk, and the end of each day, check the habit you practiced that day and celebrate with ice cream. That is perfect. That leads right into this, how Mary's habits, and Roger's going to check up with her and follow up on those habits, right?
Yes. He'll need to check on me.
I'll check up the easy way. I can check up on it. I'll just ask her how many peanut butter cups that she's had, so that I actually know when she's succeeded it.
No, I bought a bag at the store, Roger.
Oh, it's not true. A bag would not last me. That's why I don't buy them.
So then page 38, it says, remember that success requires focused action, personal, disciplined, and lots of energy. Every step forward is a step closer to the life you desire. Okay?
Yes.
So then celebrate with that ice cream. You can write that in there. And so I know there's only 3 of you on the call, but we need to talk about if we want, like we didn't have it last week because it was a holiday. Do we want to continue every Monday night with 1 lesson? Do we want to continue every Monday night the extended amount of time with 2 lessons? You know, what direction? It
doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm open for whatever you guys want to do.
It doesn't matter to me either. So it's your guys'.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I guess we're all saying it doesn't matter. So.
Dawn, whatever you want to do.
Okay. The next lesson. Yeah, the next lesson. The never-ending prospect list. And it is like 10 pages. It is pretty long.
Okay.
39 to like 49, I believe it is. Yeah.
That's in the workbook, right?
That's in the workbook, right? 39 to 49. And then there's 4 sections to read in the books.
Well, let's just do this one next.
Do that one, and then we'll see what, and do we want to do it again next Monday? We don't want to skip any Mondays, do we?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do it next Monday. You know, I think it'll probably be better with 1 lesson and then 1 lesson per week, unless it's a small lesson. And if you already know if they're going to be done, you can ask us each time if we want to do 2 lessons. If they're small.
Right. Well, yeah, look ahead in the workbook.
I was going to say that too, because even though there's 3 of us and we're all talking, but if we have our full class in here,
yes,
there's going to be a lot more conversation. It's going to take a lot more time. So
right. So we will plan then next Monday, which is what day? Does anybody have their calendar?
21st
planner here?
The 21st.
The 21st, okay. So the 21st, we'll do the next session, never ending prospect list. And
Okay,
then,
now is that going to be at 6 or 5:30?
should we go back to 6 or go back
I
to
don't-
6? Okay, we'll go
I
back
think we
to
should go
6.
back to 6 for now.
Yeah, we'll go back to 6. It'll just be an hour like we had before, 6 to 7. Okay? And that's what we'll plan on doing. So I'm going to shut off the recording. Thank you all for listening and doing your project.